Okay, let's create a new site blueprint. Now, the first thing you should do is go over to the Site Blueprint tab, and you'll see there's other information boxes. There's a group directory, file details, and this one here, project details. The project details is the one you need to pay attention to begin with. Firstly, when you're exporting your project, KRA Pro needs to know where to export the information to, and if you're using one of these first two options, article summary or HTML files, then you need to you need to specify here your project folder. So first thing I would do if I were you is to select the folder where you want to keep, or set the folder that's assigned to your project. Also, if you're doing some of the export to SEO Website Builder or Fat Content Creator, then it's quite possible that you'll need the domain name, so you can type in your domain of your project here, or the domain of the site that you're intending to build. Make sure your file word separator is correct, and also your file extension that you want to use as the default file extension for your project. To show you how to use the group directory in the file details, let's open a different project, and let's open this one. No, this one. Now, here I've got 6 groups. One's got the home page in, and let's specify the template for the home page. Specify the project folder for the home page. Now, what I want to do is I want to include these sections on my site. I haven't actually defined any phrases for some of them yet, but you'll get the idea. And what I want is I want all articles and content written about ping golf clubs to be put into a ping folder. Here, now you can see here this group is going to be written to the ping folder. For this group, I want to write it to the clone, and there isn't a clone, so let's create one. That's now all the articles in this group are going to be written to this folder. Repeat for TaylorMade, Cleveland, and the Nike. So now I've specified directories in which to write the pages to, so that when you export your site, all the pages will be written to the correct folders. The other information you can specify if you want to in KRA Pro is the article title for each of these pages that you're going to be building. You can also specify the file name. Now, for example, if I was doing a silo site, then this particular page, Ping Putter, may well be called the index page. Well, I can type that in manually. You can also specify the HTML extension. By default, when the keyword has a file name written to it, associated with it, it will use the default extension down here, but there's nothing to stop you from changing that if you want to. So there's a lot of information you can include in your site blueprint. Some of it is needed, some of it is not, depending on what task you're trying to achieve. If we just look down here, if you're doing an article summary, then group directory is not needed, file details isn't really needed, and you will not really need any of this information either, because all of the information you need for your article summary is on that sheet. If you're doing the skeleton site, this HTML files export, then group directory is important, file names and extensions are important. The article title is only important if you want to use it, because basically the KRA Pro will create skeleton pages for each of the articles or each of the web pages that you want to build, and if you include an article title here, it will be written into the template, went into the page when the page is written from the template. If you don't include an article title, it won't, and you'll have to edit it later. So it's up to you whether you want to use that. And of course, project details then is important because it tells you where things are going to be written, and also will allow you to include your domain name in the pre-written pages when you create your template. If you're exporting to SEO Website Builder, then again, directories is important. This is important as in the last export, with the article title being used if you include it here. And of course, this information down here is important, including the domain which is written to your SEO Website Builder project, file extension, default extension, etc. All that needs to be included. If you're exporting to Fat Content Creator, then the directories isn't important. The file details are as important as in the other cases. If you include them, they'll be used. If you don't, they won't. And the project details down here don't really have too much of a bearing, although the file name will be taken. So when you're doing your site blueprint, just make sure the file separator and the default extensions are in place.